Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. This week has been kind of strange in that I am mostly just prepping for the UK shop update. So I had a really strong opening for the video with footage from last week, but then this week so far there's like no footage at all. It's actually Thursday today, which is like slightly problematic because I don't have anything to show for it. Monday I was working on like the actual shop update, so it's a lot of like file prep work and ordering supplies. Super boring. Tuesday I was, what was I doing on Tuesday? Oh, I was stuck troubleshooting my cut lines with my manufacturer because apparently they're not working properly anymore, which is really annoying, so I had to redo some of them. Like it's all fine now and we got it organized and they're really helpful, but like it just takes a lot of time and it's frustrating when I wanted to be working on other stuff. I did draw a new ghost card this week. I drew one for migraines, but I'm having some trouble working out the wording for it. I guess because it's something that affects me very personally. Like, I'm not sure what the words should be. Like, they're obviously a big part of the ghost cards and I just can't get them to feel right. So I don't have a lot to show for that. I just have the ghost itself. And then Wednesday was back in daycare for the first time in a couple of weeks. And then I went out to run some errands. And then by the time I got home, it was only like an hour until Wednesday got back. And my dad had gotten home. He'd been away for a few days in Wales visiting family, which is cool. Wish that was me. So Wednesday, for the love of God, settle. Stop being noisy. Settle. So I just didn't get anything else done apart from running errands and stuff. What I do want to talk about that I've been working on in the evenings is like a project. It's like the art equivalent of a science experiment. I was just curious to see if I could make it work. I was talking to someone. Who was I talking to? Bronte, if you're watching. This is because we talked about it, my goblin brain. I have never tried a ring planner, and just for the record, I'm not ditching my Hobonichi cousin, okay? I was just curious. It's just a science experiment. I have never used a ring planner, and I was curious if I could make it work. So I have been drawing up like sheets very reminiscent of the Hobonichi layouts just to see if I could make it work, like because after I finish work in the evening I still often draw just because that's also my hobby. And I was just curious, like it started where I drew up like one page and I just wanted to know if I could, like I wanted to make something to track the music I'm listening to. That's how it started. I wanted to track my CDs. So I had made like a small tracker to put in like one of my Hobonichi pages. And then I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. I'd like drawn up a grid for it. And then I was like, oh, I wonder if I could make whole pages. And it just kind of escalated, okay? I have more pages than this, I just haven't printed them yet. I just wanted to know if it would work. So I got this, it's, how do you call it? It's a Filofax clip book. So the actual Filofaxes are really expensive. They're like, in the UK, they're between 60 and like £150 or something. This one is a clip book, so it's only like 20 quid, which is not cheap, but as far as like, I don't pay a lot for art supplies because I draw digitally. So to buy something for an experiment that's only £20 feels okay for me. And I can reuse it after if I don't want to use it for whatever this experiment is. But so I picked this up and I got the hole punch thingy. And then I just wanted to test. So when I went out yesterday, I had made this page with normal printer paper. And it's just like the weekly, basically the weekly view of a Hobonichi with slightly less room. And I took it with me to test if it would work. And then obviously you put it in. And then I got this nicer paper from a stationery shop, just like Ryman's in the UK. It's not a fancy one, it's like Staples. This is like hammered paper. This is the paper, just for the record. 100 sheets of hammer finish white paper, 100 GSM. So there you go. Ryman's in the UK is okay, but it's not great and it's often quite expensive for no reason. It's just we don't have any better options. Like there's WH Smith, but it's the same thing. So anyway, I got some nicer paper to test some more prints on because I don't want to use plain printer paper for whatever this is. So I don't know, slightly interesting. And then I made these sheets. And because I don't trust my like really like 7-year-old weird janky printer to print double-sided very well, I could try it, but I'm not sure. Also dyscalculia means that I do have trouble with things like pagination. Thankfully, because I make a lot of zines, I have some experience with like pagination and working stuff out. This hasn't been too bad for me. But the idea of having to work out which way round things have to go to print double-sided and stuff, because my printer won't do it automatically, I would have to manually feed the paper back through a second time. The idea of it is kind of intimidating as a dyscalculic person. I might try it though, because this looks pretty good actually on this new paper. It is kind of cool. I'm into it. I like the textured finish of this paper. I don't know how well it will show up on camera, but it's really pretty and that's kind of what I wanted. Again, I don't know what this project is. I'm just curious. So the idea and what I did yesterday with this one is I just fold the pages in half to avoid the double-sided problem, which I think I saw someone on Instagram doing or something. So you fold it and then you hole punch, and I won't do the hole punching because it's really loud and it's weirdly harder than I thought it would be to use that like portable hole puncher. But like, I don't know, I'm just curious. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this. It's just like the hyperfocus flavor of the week, okay? It really does speak, I guess, to my stress levels recently and like the fact that I'm not sleeping very well because my hyperfocuses, I've just been like rocketing between them for the last few weeks, as you guys are well aware. But it's, I don't know, it's a whole thing. This is the hole punch. I think it's okay. I would rather get an actual hole punch though. I got this for the time being because we don't own a hole punch. But it is kind of chewing the paper. Like, I don't think it's particularly effective. Like, it's quite messy. Like, this is the front side and it's not so bad. But obviously when you then turn it over, it's so chewed. I don't know if that's maybe because I'm not putting enough pressure. Like, it takes quite a lot. I have to put my like full body force on it. Like, I have to stand up and like lean on it really hard. I feel like this one was better, but then this paper is a lot thinner, so... but still chewed, so I don't know. I'm gonna get a proper hole punch. This is still just testing. It's curious. I'm curious. That's what I've been working on. This is all I have to show this week so far. It's just like I'm doing a science experiment. I made this one to be like a shorter double-sided, and I added these little like cut guidelines. So I'll trim the sides off, and then they can be like a small, I don't know how you would call it, like a little page, a half page basically, to go on top of these ones. Like, I think it's interesting, and I laid it out in such a way that I would still get the whole week on one side, like this. And then on the back is my trackers, including my music tracker, which was how this all started. And then on the front side is just like I just put a brain drain page there for the temporary. But then I was thinking this Taskmaster, this one could go in the middle, so it's like a half page in between the week, so I can add things and keep referring to it. Not that I'm using this to replace my planning system, as I said, I'm just curious. I really can't explain it. I don't know, okay? I just thought it would be fun, and then I got a bit carried away, and now here we are, so stay tuned, I guess. I really don't know what to say about it. I just thought it might be fun. And now I'm like, oh god, what does this mean? I just think it would be kind of interesting to have a style of working that is kind of like a mix between digital and traditional for me, because obviously all of my illustration work is digital. So the idea of being able to like bring elements over digitally and then print them out and then do my traditional stuff is kind of interesting, I guess. That's how I got carried away, I was like, oh, compels me though. So here we are. I don't know what this means, okay? It's just a background thing I'm working on. I'm still keeping up with my cousin. I just got a bit carried away. I don't know, maybe it could be a thing. Maybe it could be a thing. This is an A5 Filofax, by the way. I don't want to go back to smaller. I like an A5 book, but again, this isn't replacing my book yet. I'm interested. I don't know. I feel really bad about it because I'm like, oh god, what have I done? Like, I've really like opened Pandora's box, but I'm curious. Anyway, apart from that, I don't know what's going on today and tomorrow. I'm gonna test this afternoon just because I'm curious. And then tomorrow, I think we might all go out. My dad is off work this week, so I think we might go into London and go to like a big park or something. So hopefully if we do that, I can film it and it'll be nice for the video. I've not been outside a lot recently. That probably also isn't helping my current situation. You might have noticed there's been no pylon. And there's not been much walking in general. Like, we've not been getting out a lot. So yeah, I've been a bit of like, it's bad really. I shouldn't do it. I should know better for myself because I've been inside. I'm not sleeping. I'm stressed with work. I'm like pure goblin unhinged mode. Like, it's not good. It's not good. But we're trying to fix it. So hopefully we're gonna get out tomorrow and that'll be nice. I had pancakes yesterday. I'll insert the little video clip. I did go out yesterday with the intention to film and then I just didn't because it was busy and I was just looking at weird stuff. But I had pancakes with my dad. I met him after he got off the train. And we had pancakes and that was cool. So I don't know. Strange week, always a weird week. Maybe that's the brand of the channel, it's just weird week. But I'm working on something weird. Let me know if you think it looks interesting. I'm not ditching my cousin, I promise. I promise. I don't know what this means either, okay? Don't ask me any questions about it. Okay, apart from that, I will be updating the shop on Saturday for the UK. I've ordered like a quantity of 100 of everything, and because I'm not sure how much smaller the update will be, like how many less people there will be because it's UK only. So for now I've ordered 100 of everything, but I am happy to restock very quickly if I need to. If it all sells out, I'll arrange a pre-order. So don't panic too much on Saturday when it updates. Don't worry, I will get you all sorted, okay? That's cool. Yeah, apart from that, I've ordered everything, so we are on track this week. So that means when you're watching, it will be up, the shop update will be ready for you. So that's cool. I'm gonna test this. I don't know what it means. I'm not taking questions at this time. I hope you all have had a good week. I hope you're all getting a lot more fresh air and sleep than I am. And I will see you next week. So in the end, yesterday, this is what I made. I fixed my weekly pages and I made a calendar page. Super basic. My thinking is that you can use the index dots and then you can just write down what the events are underneath. Like, I think that would be fine. Like these. Oh wow, they were stuck on the back of a different sheet. So you could take a dot and you could put it like in the middle, it would fit. I deliberately left enough room for that. And then I fixed my weekly pages, so when they're in the binder they would be side by side as one spread. I added a little bit of colour because I thought that would be nice, and I made the font a bit smaller. And then I added a weather tracker because that's something that I like but I never want to draw by hand every day. So since I'm fooling around and testing my own planner sheets, I was kind of like, why not? And then afterwards I also added a little mood tracker here at the bottom as well, just because. Yesterday in the end as well, I did actually manage to get double-sided printing working by manually feeding the paperback through myself, but like dyscalculia wise I was having the worst time. It's a concept beyond my comprehension. I couldn't work out how to feed it through so that it would be in the correct place. And then I had to lay it out in Procreate to make sure it was also printing in the right place, and it was just so confusing. Every time I did manage to work it out, I would then go back and tweak a page and then not be able to work it out again. So like, not only was it a really hard concept for me to grasp, but I couldn't make it stick. It was very stressful, so even though I think the paper is a bit nicer when it's thinner, like obviously when you fold it, it's doubled up, so it's quite thick. It's almost like thin card. I don't think double-sided is gonna work for me because I just can't work it out. It's too much stress, and if I ever did want to use this system, this setup, I wouldn't want it to be that stressful, obviously. I would want it to be really easy and fun. So I don't know about that. But I made this, and it has a little mood tracker, and it has 7 days across one spread. I didn't manage to fit enough columns to have Saturday and Sunday have their own long column, so I split them, which is quite a common thing that people hate. But I don't think it'll be a problem for me personally, just because I don't do that much at the weekend apart from rest. Sometimes I work, but never enough that I guess I would need more than that amount of room to write my tasks down. I don't think it'll bother me too much, but then the idea is that I have this sheet in the middle anyway with a task list and also with additional notes on the back, so if I really needed more room at the weekend I could always use that space. Again, I'm talking like I'm gonna be using this. I don't know, I was talking to my dad about it yesterday and he was saying like it seems to him like a natural progression, that it would make sense that this is how I like evolved kind of thing, which is like very like parents are really good at simplifying things. But I don't know, man. Nervous to see your guys' reaction, just because like this is such a silly experiment, but now I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what any of this means for me. Like, what am I doing exactly? And why? I really like the cousin book. I just also really like the idea of being able to move the pages around and also take chunks of pages out. Like when I finish a month, I could take all the pages out and archive them and then have more new pages, and I don't know. So I don't know what I'm doing. But this is kind of cool. I'm really happy with it. I think it's cute. On this side I have my trackers that I showed you yesterday, but like better now, I guess. I made the text smaller again. I think it looks neater that way. I added some little decorations. This is like a reminder to take my inhaler, basically. I don't know. And then I also made this one to go at the front. It's just some reminders for the front of the binder. I don't know, the ring planner. I don't know what you call it. It says take your inhaler or die, because I always forget to take my inhaler and then I'm just wheezing around the house. I thought it would be funny. Added one of my little ghost guys, the skull and crossbone one that is like sort of like the logo. And then I have some reminders down here as well, and some like icons as also to be reminders, like wearing my glasses. filling in my book and taking like meds and stuff. So I just put in additional notes on the back of it. I don't know what I'm doing here. I did order a better hole punch. So hopefully that will come this afternoon and I can punch these properly, because I don't want to keep using this Filofax guy. He's kind of sus. I regret paying for him because like it just chews all the paper no matter how thin or thick it is, which is kind of a buzzkill. So I wouldn't recommend this. I have to put a lot of weight on it and I still can't make them all pop at once. It just, I don't know why it's so... Maybe I'm using it wrong somehow. Maybe I just don't have enough strength to use it properly. But it's chewing all my pages and I don't like that. So I ordered a proper hole punch. Just so I can carry on my experiment. I might this afternoon test filling out a commonplace page. I didn't show you those. So I made this one, which is blank, but has a spot for an index dot. So again, if I get the same little dot, you can put the dot here to index the page. And same on the brain drain side. So for brain drain, I've just made a heading. So I have like specific brain drain pages with the option of having the tick box, because I use that space in this one as well, the weekly one, for my tick boxes. I like having that there as like a border. So I put that on the brain drain page, and then on the common placing pages, it's just blank, but with space for an index dot, so I can put the title up here. And now I have more room for longer titles if I need them. So I could write the title on the top line, and then the middle line I could put the author and stuff. In my Hobonichi, I write the title in the boxes at the top, and then I normally put the author in the text. It's not super easy to navigate that way, so I fixed it for my paper. But I still have a margin, and then I have more room for writing, so I don't know if maybe the margin is too big, but I like to have quite a big margin, I guess. It's slightly bigger than the one for the brain drain, and I think that might be kind of nice. I don't know. I made them double-sided, so if I wanted to, I could batch print at them, especially the commonplace pages. I don't know what I'm doing. I just think it's interesting. I'm just interested. I might try and do a commonplace page today. I did a brain drain page yesterday. I wrote some notes about what I thought I was doing. Oh, also look, the the A6 index cards can go in. I just think that's kind of cool too. I like the idea of being able to punch anything and include it. Like, maybe my dad is right and this is kind of a natural evolution of my big autistic book of everything, because the idea that you could hole punch anything and add it and take it out when you want is like, that's a whole other level of autistic collecting. So here's a brain drain page I mocked up, and I put one of my stickers on to see how that would look, because I want it to be a combination of traditional and digital, so a mix of my digital stickers and also my traditional stickers, I guess. Here I used the page though. This is the exact same one, I just added the index after, so it looks quite nice. Initially I wasn't sure how my pen was writing on the paper, but I think it looks fine. It just feels kind of different, but obviously the Tomoe River paper is so soft. It's just a bit of a different feel. Whatever the pen equivalent of mouthfeel is, it's different. But I think it looks fine. This is how that one works for the weekly pages. I don't know, as I say, I don't know what I'm doing here. We'll be interested to see what you guys think. Nervous to see what you guys think, because I don't know what I'm doing, but it's fun. I don't know if I could even sell these. I think they're too specific. I'd have to strip them back, I guess. I don't know if anyone would be interested in like the fonts I'm using and stuff. I think generally speaking, when people sell digital planner products, the fonts are a lot more like classic, I guess. It's very like friendly fonts, whereas I'm using like a typewriter font and then like a handwriting font. I don't know if you would like that. If anyone is interested, let me know your thoughts on fonts. Maybe there should be no fonts and it should all be blank, and then you can fill it all in yourself. Like maybe you should be able to fill these in yourself and I'll leave the drawings, and then this would just be a blank page. I don't know. I'm not sure how I would do that if it was a thing people were interested in. I'm not sure if anyone will be, but let me know. It is hyper specific, but that's the joy of being an autistic illustrator who likes planner stuff and zines, is that I can just make very hyper specific things for myself, which again, I guess is why my dad thinks this is a natural evolution for me. I don't know. This afternoon I'm gonna glue these pages. I figured out if I glue them, they're quite nice. They're quite thick, but that's kind of nice. So I think I'm gonna glue these and put them like under some books maybe to flatten them like really hard and to like proper stick them. And then when my hole punch comes later, I'll hole punch them all and put them in. I might try and fill out a commonplace page to see how it looks. I'll print some photos for it. And then I'll show it to you at the end of the day if my hole punch comes before 10 p.m. And if there's enough daylight left, but I'll show you. I am on track for the shop update. I just need to do the listings, so that's all good on that front. Oh, also, I obviously didn't go outside. I say at the end of a very weird long ramble. I did not go outside. My dad has gone out in the end Wednesday and I stayed at home because we have so many parcels due today. Like my dad has a bunch due, so he was like, oh, you want to stay home? And I was like, I guess. I had already been thinking about staying home just because I'm tired and I feel a bit weird. It's one of those ones where it's like I probably need to go outside to feel better, but I'm not sure that going into central London is the answer. It's like it's a very delicate line between needing the fresh air but having a panic attack if you go somewhere busy kind of thing. So I think we're gonna go for a local picnic on like Monday or Sunday maybe, so that'll be a lot cuter. I'll film that for next week's video. But today I stayed in to work on my silly little autistic things. So that's where we're at. Yeah. Okay, I'll show you some stuff later. I'll keep working and I'll film it. But I don't know, that's where we are. Just wanted to come and update you because it's evolved a bit overnight. So yeah, the hyperfocus is still obviously very real. But such is life, I guess. Much neater. It worked. It's perfect. Oh my god, Wednesday we're gonna be unstoppable. Yes. Fantastic. Let's take all of this junk out. And now let's put all of my junk in.